Hello and welcome to our Generation 6 discussion. Today we'll be talking about the things that we know so far at Generation 6. I'm keeping this is going to be completely uncut, all of it, just
I like
what
that.
Mitch and I talk about for the next
Yeah.
couple of minutes or half an hour, however long this goes on for. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, what we know so far about Generation 6. So, do you want me to cover that, or do you want to say it, Mitch? It's up to you.
You cover it. It's your
Okay.
video.
Alright, so what we know so far is that the two versions, or the two starting versions, are going to be called X and Y. We know that what the starters are, that they are going to be, I don't have the names in front of me.
Chespin, which is the grass type, Fennekin, which is the fire type, and Froakie, who is the water.
Yep. And then we have the two mascots, which are
Xerneas, who is the mascot for X, and Eveltol.
which is for
Eveltol
Y.
is the mascot for Y.
Yeah. And we know that, well, speculation says that it's probably going to take place in France. And because of the pictures that we've seen so far, having structures that look very much like the Eiffel Tower and just a general look of things. So yeah, what would you like to talk about first, Mitch?
Well, I'll point out how disappointed I am that they discontinued the reptilian, amphibian kind of thing for the grass starters.
Why are you disappointed about that though?
It's just been generic so far, like with, Bulbasaur being like this kind of dinosaur toad looking thing, then Chikorita, which is a dinosaur, and then Trico, and another gecko, and Turtwig is a turtle, and Snivy was a snake, but with Chespin it looks like it's like this chipmunk kind of squirrel mole thing. So
Yeah,
it kind of drops that off the planet, but it looks like they're keeping up with the Chinese zodiac fire starters,
as
because a fox is a type of canine, and obviously there is a zodiac of the dog.
I also like how it's a fennec fox as well.
Yeah.
So
But there's a lot of fennec foxes already. There's Victini, which is a fennec fox.
yeah, I wonder how
And
they're
then,
gonna keep this one
like,
different.
yeah, and Espeon looks like it shares some similarities with a fennec fox as well.
Also, what we were talking about before, with the just before we started recording this, with the typings. Would you like to quickly go over what people are speculating what the typings will be?
Well, I've heard, different things. I've heard people saying we'll see that dark fighting psychic triangle from a couple of years ago when people were thinking Gen 4 was going to bring that in. People are thinking that Chespin's going to be Grass Stark, that Fennekin's going to be Fire Psychic, and Froggy's going to end up being Water Fighting.
The problem
I see,
is that
like you said, is it can't go back.
yeah, that's what I was about to
Like
bring up.
Fennekin, but not only does Fennekin have a super effective type against Chespin, its other type isn't super effective against it. But it
Yeah,
also means Chespin can go against Fennekin, okay.
yeah,
It means either way, the starters can go against each other, because Chespin has Grass, which is obviously weak to Fire, but Chespin has Dark, which is good against Psychic. Then Fennekin has Psychic, which is good against Fighting, which would be good against Froakie, but from Fennekin is Fire, so it's not good against Water. And then the same way again, Froakie's Water isn't good against Chespin's Grass, but his Fighting's good against the Dark.
oh, okay, yeah, I can see how that can
But
work.
either way, they can hit each other for a super effective hit.
Yeah, so that evens it out. Okay. What about Fennekin though? Well, actually, they all seem types that have already been done before. Isn't Poliwrath
Poliwrath and
water?
Kelly.
Yeah,
Poliwrath and Kelly are both water fighting.
and then you have Shiftry with
Grass
grass
stuff. As
dark.
well as, don't forget Cacturne.
Yep, and then you have Victini with fire psychic. So they're not really,
Unique.
yeah. But then, I guess if each starter was unique, then we wouldn't have three fire fighting types in a row.
That didn't need to happen. They're the firefighters.
I see what you did there.
Okay, but my view on the region, I don't think it's based around France.
Why don't you think it's based around France?
When has, like,
Because,
it been based around one city?
well, France is a country.
I understand that, but I also think that the lake with the bridge and the statue
See,
is in another country. It's not in France. It's in another European country. It's in Austria.
see, and I'd also like. I know this is a bit biased, but I would also like to see England. I mean, swimming the channel between England and France is kind of a big thing. So, I mean, we kind of missed out on the major surfing routes in Unova and 5th Gen. So I'm hoping they bring that back, and you may be able to surf over to the English equivalent.
I also think that Holland, like the Netherlands, has been put into it because Holland's really known for its flower fields, and you see the female protagonist running along flower fields.
Yeah, as well as the desert kind of
Yes,
seems a
that's
bit
seen in
strange.
Kazakhstan. There's a canyon that looks like that in Kazakhstan. So it
Okay.
may be based on the Eurasia area.
Yeah, instead of just France by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
That's
think the fact that it starts in a city is mimicking what Black 2 and White 2 did. Rather than starting in a dingy old town called November Town, you're starting in a kind of built-up city called Aspertia City, which
yeah.
has a Pokemon gym. So maybe it's taking that and you're starting in a big city again,
Yeah, and then
rather than just a dingy old town like you have with the past 5 generations, besides Black 2 and White 2.
yeah, good point. Good point. Have we spoken
Um,
about... Oh, sorry, was there something
oh,
else you'd like to say?
no, you go.
Oh no, I was about to move on to the legendaries, but is there anything
That's what
else
I've
about
got.
the... Okay, alright, well, what would you like to say about legendaries?
Well, Yveltal, the first, like, I like his name. It's good. It's kind of annoying to pronounce, but I had to kind of look up about the how to pronounce with Phoenician things, and it is like it's not just evil toll, it's Yveltal, like because that vel is kind of meant to be the main part of its name.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, it sounds like the word evil.
Yeah, and also
This
it's...
is what I got to thinking. I was telling you this before. Xerneas bears a resemblance to reindeers.
Yeah.
And the multicoloring lights in its antlers shine like a rainbow. Reindeers and rainbow.
Also, the colors are for DN... Oh, the normal scientific diagrams of DNA. The colors are the same that show each, not strand, but how DNA is made up. Each
And
protein,
this
I
is
think it's
where
called.
I think the DNA strand kind of comes into play, is because notice when we see Xerneas, there's a tree behind it.
Yep.
What if this is, in quote unquote, a family tree? Human nature has been split up into multiple generations. Two of the most known being Generation X, who
And
was everyone before our time, and Generation Y. Generation X is more down to earth. They're set in their ways, and they're more like the peers of our time, like our age, the mid-20s, like 20s and stuff like that.
yeah,
Generation Y was rebellious. They wanted to
fly
disregard.
away.
Yeah, they wanted to, get away. So this is a quote from another friend saying, with Generation X being more down to earth, family oriented, and Generation Y being more rebellious, as I put it, it works well working on your tree in the background theme. That Y is in the sky, and that is Generation Y wanting to break free, the sky being a symbol of freedom.
Yep.
So what we might be seeing is the theme of order and chaos.
See, I agree with that as well. I'm also kind of thinking of life and death.
That's a good point, because Yveltal looks like a Reaper.
Yeah,
It's Reaper look to it. It's dark. It's evil. But Xerneas looks just like it needs to protect something.
yeah, and
And,
also,
the tree, life.
yeah. Well, that's what I've seen a lot of people bring up. Is it said Yggdrasil, something like that? The world tree.
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, apparently some people are speculating the story is going to have something to do with that because there is a stag in that story. There's an unknown flying bird in the story as well. There's also something called a nidhogg. Oh, that could have been terrible if I pronounced that word wrong. Anyway, the so-called Nidhogg, which is a dragon, which people are speculating might be the third, the third one for the trio.
That's kind of what it's weird because what I've got down is the speculated Z.
The thing is, we already had Zoroark. I mean, like, that's what kind of gets me about this. You've got Pokemon X, Pokemon Y. Back in 5th generation, they did use Zoroark, as in Pokemon Z, so it's going to be a bit strange if they try and remarket something else as the Z Pokemon again.
Yeah, because like I said, it might be a snake or a dragon.
Yeah.
Because, surprisingly a snake can look like the letter Z. But if they do that, it just happens to fall under a couple of things. Rayquaza was
Yeah.
a dragon. Another thing, the colors that were chosen for Xerneas and Yveltal were blue and red.
Yeah, that.
Ruby and Sapphire,
But
which
then
would mean Z could be green, which would mean Rayquaza.
the thing is that if you have a look at the starting games for most generations, most of their mascots do have red and blue on them. Going for the English red and blue, the original games,
Mm-hmm.
Blastoise and Charizard, obviously red and blue. Lugia has his blue stomach. Ho-Oh has, well, red all
Orange.
over him. Or orange, red, orange, close enough. Then Ruby and Sapphire, obviously
That's
what
a
you
bit
just
more.
said.
Yeah. Palkia is a form of red, but
Yeah,
pink,
kind
and
of
then
pink.
obviously Dialga is blue.
Yeah, then Reshiram.
Zekrom and Reshiram, Electric and Fire.
Yeah, see, they all have red and blue. So, I wonder
It
what.
may just be a generic thing.
Yeah, I'm just guessing that might be, something that Pokemon do now. Just have everything, the main two mascots is red and blue.
Also, obviously, there's the DNA theme that the sequels may be XX and XY.
So, I don't know, do you reckon they'll do that again?
There's every chance because the thing is with having just 3 games. So let's take Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald for example. You have Ruby, Sapphire at the start, and then you go into Emerald, which is basically just both of them put into one in
And
one big.
retold, yeah.
But the thing with Black and White and Black 2 and White 2 is that there's an extra game, which means more money.
Yeah.
So maybe Nintendo will do it again to make more profit, or again, the legendary Xerneas and Yveltal will be integral to the story for that game to bring it into another one.
So,
But the only difference is 3 X's to 1 Y in the sequel.
Also, what I was just thinking, if they somehow crossed it over, like Black and White 2, they would have to do something like X and Y and then Y and X. That would get kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last point I had to make was that I don't think we'll be seeing any dragon types from these 2 legendaries.
What type do you reckon they'll be?
I'm honestly thinking maybe with this whole Order and Chaos thing, we might have Grass and Poison.
As their primary types?
Yes.
What do you reckon for secondary types then?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm honestly thinking that Yveltal may be like some kind of poison dark kind of thing. I don't think there's going to be any dragon in it. In all honesty, it looks more like a bird than it does a wyvern.
Yeah, well, the thing is that kind of gets me is Xerneas. I'm kind of thinking, as I like grass the same, I'm thinking grass as well. The other typing I'm thinking is steel, but then,
Yeah.
How many grass, or grass, not grass, sorry, steel, and then bug or grass, something that's 4 times weak to fire again.
Yeah, like we had Genesect.
Yeah, Genesect, Scizor, Ferrothorn,
Not Ferrothorn, it's Ferrothorn.
However you say it. I don't care. But yeah,
Well,
I mean...
like Yveltal sounding like the word evil. I hear nothing in Xerneas' name that may sound the opposite. Unless there's like some Latin word that means awesomeness.
Xerxes?
Sure, Xerxes.
Yeah, I don't know.
What, the Mysterium Xerxes?
What's that?
It's a book from the Older Scrolls.
Oh, okay.
Written by Mehrunes Dagon.
Okay. We're kind of going a bit tangenty there, but
I
so
know.
do we know what the names are based on, or
I have no idea. Eveltor may be some kind of form of Aztec name. It sounds like it to me.
yeah, Quetzalcoatl, however you say it.
Um, I have no idea. Like, let's look up that story of Yggdrasil.
Were you
Of this.
um were you expecting these, or were you expecting Ruby and Sapphire remakes or something completely different when waiting
I
for?
wasn't sure. I was hoping that maybe it was a 10-minute presentation. Maybe they're going to offer us more than one thing.
Yeah,
But obviously, we didn't get that. So
it seems we've missed out as well on a Battle Revolution on like Pokemon
but
Stadium
they may
for
be saving it later for the Wii U's life because it was a while before we got Battle Revolution for the Wii.
yeah, and then oh I don't know. The thing is, I was thinking that you know why not wait for the Wii U to bring it out, but then Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2 are both on the Nintendo 64, so
I know, but the Nintendo 60 law,
with 60 lore.
oh, the Nintendo 64 was surprisingly long-lived.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to find more on Yggdrasil, but not much is coming up. Oh, you know what? Let's just go story.
Loud typing.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. So,
Okay, here we go. You ready
okay.
for the story of Yggdrasil? All that has happened in all the regions of the world lie under the branches of the ash, Yggdrasil, greatest and best of trees. Yggdrasil's roots penetrate deep into the spiritual and spread out over the world. It gives life to itself, it gives life to the unborn. The winds whirl around it, and Yggdrasil croons and groans. Yggdrasil always was and is and will be. Okay, okay.
So it's a big tree that holds up the world's nations, pretty much. Yeah?
Yeah, and here we go. Yggdrasil is in the axis that holds the three worlds together, surprisingly three. There are three roots, and each root sinks into one world. There is the world of Asgard, the world of the gods. Here live the Aesir, the warrior gods, and Vanir, the fertility gods, and also the light elves. Then there is the second world, Midgard, the world of the human. Here live the giants, the dark elves, and the dwarfs. The third world is Niflheim. Yeah, I guess that. Nilfheim. There we go. Here lie the worlds of hell. Here live the dead. It is dark and misty and vague and ominous. Yggdrasil will give shelter and care to lift Prussia, I guess, during the great battle Ragnarok at the end of the era. There will be the only surviving humans, and they will then repeople the new world in the new time. Yggdrasil sustains and nourishes all the worlds. If in Niflheim a dragon, Nidhogg, continually gnaws at the root, in the topmost branch sits an eagle with a hawk perched between its eyes. The squirrel Ratatosk runs up and down the trunk carrying insults from Nidhogg to the eagle. The tree drips dew, sweet and fruitful, and the bees make honey of it. Deer and goats leap along the branches and tear off the new shoots.
So that's pretty much just explained.
There's a dragon, an
Yeah?
eagle, and a deer.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the three, what could be the three, because two of them have already been proven.
Yeah.
Evel looking like an eagle, and Xerneas looking like deer. Thank you. Yes. Ha.
Yeah, sorry. I probably
That's
should have
that's
corrected you on
okay.
that. Also, just having a quick look at these pictures, what do you reckon that big? There seems to be something in the background of the castle. Just quickly going back to this for a second.
Mhm.
Have you noticed that as well, or is it just me?
Notice what?
Alright, if you have a look at the girl running next to the statue,
Mhm.
which, yeah, there's something big and kind of purpley in the background above the castle.
Let me go catch that. Also, I have noticed something else though. It's completely off topic, and they
Yeah,
may
sorry, just
change
thought I'd go on to this for a second. Yep.
Pokedex iOS. Will they update it with these new Pokemon? Because anyone who's bought this already knows how much it costs for the full version.
Hmm.
It costs initially $1.99, so round that up to about $2. Each pack after, which there are 4 of, cost another $6 each.
Yep.
That brings the price up to $26. Take away that 5 cents, it costs $25.95.
Add another
Oh,
$6, it's only $31.
I know, but just think about how much that is compared to Pokedex 3D Pro on the 3DS, which was only $20.
Hmm.
And, a hard copy of a Pokedex is nowhere near to the price of $32.
What, you can get a hard copy of the Pokedex?
Like the books.
Oh, oh, you
But
had
like
me excited for a second
oh
there.
my gosh.
I actually got kind of I'm like, you can buy what now?
Let
Informing
me
him.
watch the trailer to get up to that point. Shut up,
I'm just
Pikachu.
on the website looking through the pictures. If you go to Pokemon.com, it just takes you straight to it. There's the bottom
Okay,
picture.
there's this purple thing you're seeing.
Up in the top corner, just above the castle. Purpley blue.
Let me
I'll
take
probably
it
put
back.
a picture in the video. Actually, knowing me, that's a lie. It's not. I'm not going to put a picture. I'm too lazy. This is something more to listen to. I probably should have said this at the
Um,
start.
it's a satellite.
It's a satellite?
It's like a satellite dish.
You reckon? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like as I catch it, it looks like it's attached to the building.
You know,
Yeah, it looks like a big satellite dish.
do you know what I was just looking at? So I'm just
What?
having a look at the pictures. Do you know what I'd like to see? You know how like Australia, how you can't bring in certain animals and stuff into the country, like, or like you can't bring certain products into the country?
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see not that, but like I've had a look at this desert picture and it looks like there's a big wall blocking off like one side of the desert to the other.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of thinking it might be cool if like having one big region but having like little sections in it that like you would like where the countries would be that you kind of unlock as you go around. So
I
like
was thinking that as well, but it's not that so much. They're really focused on the communication side of Pokemon during that,
yeah.
announcement. So this is a lot of people saying they're going to use Spot Pass to its extent. They're going to, maybe they could release events through Spot Pass, and you can get an event without me even knowing that.
Yeah, that'd be
And
cool.
another thing I noticed, if this is the case, what if they do something completely out of whack? What if instead of having version exclusives, you have region exclusives? What if in, say, Australia, you get one Pokemon, but everywhere else you don't get it, so you have to trade with someone from Australia to get it?
Or yeah, there is like some way to get it in game like via trade or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kind of like, you can get Petalil in
Yeah.
black by trading a Cottony you can catch in Pinwheel Forest.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but
like
what if,
yeah.
like, Australia's versions of the game have this Pokemon,
See,
but
and
the
this
others don't? And then Europe has one, and then the US and Japan. What if each of those places have their own Pokemon in their cartridges?
see yeah, and that's also this kind of links to what like I was gonna bring up next, and this would probably if like I were to do something like that, see, people are thinking that we're gonna have character customization, and the main reason for this is because the first time we see the playable character, he's looking in the mirror, which kind of that's how things like The Sims and normally character creation um games start. So that's what people were kind of thinking we're gonna have. And even if it's just like basic things like you're able to change your clothes or your hat or your hair or
Get rid
you
of glasses.
yeah, you may not be able to change your character completely, but
You can kind of customize it a little bit.
and I think that would be cool if like you wore something that's distinctly from that country. So like how in Australia we have the hats with the corks hanging from them.
I don't think that would be very nice to run around in.
I don't know, but like I mean, if you went up to like a person in the game wearing that hat, then that would unlock the Pokemon that is exclusive to Australia, or and so on.
If that does
Because
happen, of course.
yeah, if that
But
happens.
I wouldn't want to, regardless if I'm from Australia or not, I wouldn't want to wear that hat because I think they look stupid.
No, I don't know. The quarks hanging from a
Ha-
hat. What's wrong with that?
Have you ever worn one, Tom?
No, I'm imagining it would hit you in the face quite a lot if you ran.
That's what I would think too.
Yeah.
It flies away from your face. It's neat. No, it's not even neat. It's silly.
Mm.
But, like, I don't know. For some reason, I would think that's stereotypical. Because watch, Australians get a Crocodile Dundee hat.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Okay, Tom, I'll like to see you wearing the Westminster kind of guard
Yeah.
outfit.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Or like, maybe not so stereotypical things, but like, you know what I mean. You know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Although it looks like maybe in certain cities you have rollerblades rather than running shoes.
Yeah. Or, instead of a bike, now you just have rollerblades. Did you ever
I
use the bike very much?
not during the journey while hatching eggs. I did.
Yeah, I find I never really used the bike except, yeah, on like cycling lane or cycling road.
Yeah, and like the little things in Hoenn that you
Yeah.
needed acro bike to get across and the Mac bike, and that was awesome.
That was pretty awesome. It's just kind of annoying when you found like an area you had to go all the way back to Moorville, then go and
Uh,
find it again. That got a bit
like in
frustrating.
the Safari Zone.
Yeah, so you'd have to go
Oh,
out twice at least to get
I see.
everything.
The Safari Zone did it so they could get more money.
Probably. Robbing
They were
bastards.
exploiting. They were like, Rydell was like, I get more money. People keep changing bikes.
It's also looking at these pictures still. I'm not sure if that's a Pokeball or not, but there's a bit when he's running on down a path on a towards a town, and there's a
Mhm.
blue sign which could be a Pokeball or it could be the number 3.
It's the
Which
number 3.
so do you reckon they're gonna restart the routes again from like
From what it, from, yeah, it does look like that way. Because I don't see a Pokeball and I definitely see the number 3.
well yeah, I'm kind of not wearing my glasses at the moment, so for me it could be anything. But
Let's try and catch it and I'll tell you what I see, but you're right about the whole mirror thing. I just went straight past it. Yeah, it's a big number 3.
yep, cool. So yeah, I'm still thinking that yeah they're gonna start from Route 1 and then go to Route whatever. I hope there's more.
Whatever the end
I
of
hope
that.
it's big. That's what she
I
said.
honestly think it's going to be big. Oh, why would you say that?
Oh, we're back. Okay, no, we're cool. Um, so yeah, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Not that I can think of. I'd just like to see some new type combinations. Maybe, so let me, I've got a wish list of like things I'd like to see in this generation. Let me go ahead and find that wish list.
I've got one thing. I'd like to see like the return of the contest, but like, oh no, a cabaret would be cool. Pokemon cabaret.
Maybe.
Maybe. I
um,
don't know. Isn't the word
I,
cabaret French? So I'm just going off French things, okay?
um, I don't want them to add any new types.
Yeah, no new types. No light, no
Um,
metal, no sound, or whatever the hell you want to go with. No.
I don't. I want to see awesome fossil Pokemon.
Yes.
I want to see new evolutions for old Pokemon. Obviously, we've got this whole EV speculation going on, which is more likely than to happen now that
Well,
we
that
know that. Generation 6 is coming, and Virgil obviously has an EV, and he's going up in the finals because...
Yeah, but no, spoilers, no.
What do you mean?
It doesn't evolve. He just wins. Sorry if that's a spoiler.
Not really.
Yeah, he just wins. It takes out the Drodagon, and then that's it. He just wins.
That's right, I didn't even look at the pictures.
I looked at the pictures. I was
The underwater exploration.
Sorry, more water exploration.
Underwater exploration.
I'd just like more water exploration in general.
And the menu sprites for shiny Pokemon, I want to see them shiny.
Oh, as in like when you're in the party thing.
Yeah, like in the menu thing, like the little Pokemon that jumps up and down. I think we're going to get rid of that completely. I think we're going to have little 3D ones, but I want them to be shiny if they are a shiny Pokemon.
I'd like to see them just using the old sprites from like Black and White and everything.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Just reuse them instead of like, yeah, the little 2 animated 2 frames. It sort of jumps between. Anyway, yes. Anything else?
That's my wish list.
I'm liking kind of how you can see the sky, and it seems like it's different most times.
I'd really like to see an evolution of Dunsparce, despite some of the people I know.
Oh,
because Dunsparce is awesome, because this is a quote from someone, no Dunsparce because, let's face it, no one likes it.
Did I tell you what I was going to do, by the way? This is really off topic, but I was going to do a Nuzlocke.
With a Dunsparce?
No, yes, but where all of the starters are Dunsparce, and all of the wild Pokemon are also Dunsparce.
You have a difficult time.
You can have a bad time. Well, it depends what game you go with. I mean, if we go...
How does it depend what game you go with if all wild Pokemon are starters of Dunsparce?
Well, because if you go Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you're not going to be able to get past Morty.
Neither in Soul Silver.
That's why I just said Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
You just said Heart Gold.
Oh, no, sorry. Oh, I might
well, we'll review it and...
We'll see how it goes. And then, yeah, if you play with Platinum or whatever, you're not going to be able to get past Fantina. But then if you play Black
you
and
can't
White...
pass Chantel.
Yeah. Oh, this is crap. I'm not going to be able to do my...
And even in Ruby and Sapphire, you can't get past Phoebe.
Alright, well, Dunsparce was not a very good choice. Unless it can learn, like, Bite or something. Or something that's not a normal move.
Look, I've got the Pokedex iOS.
This is a conversation for another time, though.
Yes. Although I'll bring it up later. I'll just go like, Dunsparce learns dark moves.
Just curious, do you reckon they're going to keep the names Pokemon X and Y? You don't reckon they'll go for, like, Pokemon Exolite or anything like that?
No, I think they're going to stay X and Y.
Okay.
Because when have they ever, like, announced a Pokemon game and changed the title later?
It just seems a bit strange to suddenly go Pokemon X and Y. I mean...
Well, it's a difference from colors and gems.
Yeah. I like how they said Black and White were going to change it up, but then this is just...
Dunsparce can learn Pursuit at level 10.
Oh, sweet, we're going to have to play through the whole game with Pursuit and never get rid of it.
It can learn Shadow Ball as well.
Oh, okay, that works. Alright, we're going to do a Nuzlocke challenge with just Dunsparce.
And it can learn Bite as an egg move.
Oh, egg move
as well as Hex.
Alright, I'm totally going to do it in Black and White. Dunsparce challenge. Let's go. Nuzlocke. Either that or Clefairy, but you only get one Clefairy. And
not
one
Clefairy.
Metronome. If you lose Explosion by accident, then you're screwed. That's it, game over.
That's always happened to me though, whenever I've gone to use it, I always use
Damn Togepi. Got Judgment and then self-destruct.
Boom.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's about it. I think, should we wrap up here?
Sure.
So yeah, thanks for listening. Probably add something at the start of this to say it's just audio, or I might not. depends how I feel.
Just put some crazy pictures.
Probably should. I don't know. I'll probably just leave this as audio. So, thanks for joining us, Mitch, and thanks for
Oh,
everyone for listening. So, and as always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. And we'll probably be trying to update this every time. Well, not every time we get new news, but new news. Sorry. um,
no, no,
new news.
no,
Every time something new comes out about Pokemon X and Y. But yeah, we'll try and update this as much as we can of what we think and what we think's gonna happen. One last thing, Mitch,
Mm-hmm.
just while we're here. What do you reckon they'll go for? Do you reckon they'll be a Poketch, or what did we have in black and white? Did we have anything? We had the,
Sega.
yeah. Do you reckon they'll do something with that again?
Well, maybe.
We'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
in future updates. Okay, so don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us, Mitch.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.